everybody, we have a Labradoodle puppy video for you today, and it's a birth announcement for these beautiful Australian Labradoodle puppies who are just 24 hours old. These large, mini, small, medium Australian Labradoodle puppies were just born recently, and in today's video we're going to introduce you to each of the 5 little puppies in this litter. We're going to tell you a little bit about the whole birthing experience, and we'll give you a little bit of an update on Mama Labradoodle Sierra. Hi, I'm Claire from Van Isle Labradoodles, and these are the large, mini, small, medium Labradoodle puppies from our half and half litter. So this litter was called half and half because the Papa Labradoodle for this litter is Tig, and he's a black leaked phantom. And the mama right here is Sierra, and she is this gorgeous caramel girl. So half and half was because I expected half of this litter to be in the darker tones of chocolate like this little Labradoodle here, and black like Papa. You can see we have no blacks, and if we were lucky, maybe an apricot or a red, and probably some caramels. Well, you can see what we've got here. We've got lots of red and apricot and caramel going on, and we don't have a single black puppy. So that's quite something because black is dominant. So usually when we have that black allele is what it's called, we end up definitely with a good percentage of black puppies. And statistically speaking, there should have been at least 25% of this litter should have been black. But guess what? Surprise! Nope. But I'm so glad that these little Labradoodles knew that they were going to be born to the half and half litter and kept with that theme with the 2 parties here who are half white, and this one is going to be a red girl, I expect. This one's probably an apricot girl. And we also have 3 girls and 2 boys, which is pretty much half and half. So much for my thinking there. Usually I'm right on with my predictions, but this time Mother Nature made sure that I know who is actually in charge. So as I was saying, these are Australian Labradoodles. Now sometimes people get confused, and sometimes people also call Australian Labradoodles an Aussie Doodle. And why wouldn't you? Australian, the nickname for that is Aussie, and all sort of doodles are referred to as doodles. So Australian, Aussie, Labradoodle doodle, and you get an Aussie Doodle. Except an Aussie Doodle is a totally different type of breed. That's an Australian Shepherd that's mixed with a poodle. There is 0 Australian Shepherd in Australian Labradoodles. Really confusing. Very often it causes people to think that Australian Labradoodles need a whole lot of activity and exercise and are very busy, hyper types of dogs. Because Australian Shepherds they're a herding dog, they require a job, they never sit still. If they're the smaller ones, they're a little bit of those sort of high-strung type of toy dog. And if they're a larger one, they need lots of time outside in a big open field to run around and herd sheep or some other thing. They need a job. Australian Labradoodles, in the very beginning, their foundation breeds were a Labrador Retriever, French Poodle, and Spaniels, primarily Cocker Spaniels, some Cockapoos as well. But these dogs that we breed at Van Isle Labradoodles, they are Australian Labradoodles, and they're multi-generation. So these puppies here have been Australian Labradoodle to Australian Labradoodle for more than 8 generations now. And that's how they get the title in front of their name of being a multi-gen. And what does it mean to you other than a whole lot of words and terminology that you're probably not really interested in? It means you get a puppy who is going to have a beautiful, soft, non-shedding coat, be a fantastic family dog, and have really good ability for us to say, this is what their temperaments are going to be like, and this is what they're going to look like, other than their colors, which is a totally different thing. But we can tell you that they're going to look just like Mama Sierra here. And these little Labradoodles in this litter are going to be Mama Sierra size to a little bit bigger. So Sierra herself is a large mini Australian Labradoodle. She's just sort of on the cusp of being medium, but she's not quite tall enough. And size with Australian Labradoodles is determined by the shoulder height, not the weight. There is a weight range that we attribute to each size, but of course you could have Sierra here who weighs just around 28 pounds or so. You could easily have her weighing 35 pounds, and that wouldn't make her a medium because she wouldn't be any taller. She'd just be fat. And we could also easily have her at 25 pounds, and that wouldn't make her a small mini because she'd still be the same height, but she'd be really skinny. So that's why height is what we use as the definition for size. And then we are able to tell you what the weight range is that's ideal within that size. So let's talk about Mama Labradoodle Sierra. This is her retirement litter. This is the third litter that she's had, and holy smokes, every litter this little beauty queen has given us has been amazing. And this litter looks to be no different. Sierra loves to give us beautiful, calm dispositions in her dogs. Sierra has a bit of an old soul. There's a lot to her. And if you look at her eyes, you can just see there's so much behind those eyes. She's a super sensitive girl. She's very aware of what's going on. Extraordinarily kind and giving, and very intelligent. And I can tell you, when she had her puppies yesterday, at 1:30 in the morning yesterday, she woke me up because she started to dig, and she came over to me in bed and just put her paw on my shoulder and was like, I think it's getting to be time. And because this is her third litter, she knew exactly what was coming. So that was fine. We got up and we got her a nice little hand towel that she could use in the bed to dig up, because girls, when they're going into labor, want to dig because they want to dig a nest. And so we let her dig through the night, and off and on she went back to sleep, but she was awake most of the night. Did a little bit of pacing, but no labor pains and no contractions. Just pacing and knowing that the babies were moving down, getting ready to go out the exit door there. And at times you could see babies would be in this area of Sierra's body, and they'd be poking right out, like quite a lot, a really big protrusion. It was like the baby was sideways in her tummy there. And you could tell that was really uncomfortable. I could certainly appreciate that. And she was fussing around a bit, trying to find a comfortable way to sleep when she had this great big baby sticking out of her. They don't stay in that position for too long. They move. So in the morning we got up and she was all full of energy and happy, and we went out and she had a little bit of a run, which always amazes me how these dogs, they do all these things when they're in labor and just after giving birth as if nothing's happened. She did a little bit of a run. And then we did our normal walk we usually do about a mile to about 1.5 miles of a walk in the mornings around in the back of our property. And then when it was time to come up, I couldn't see her. So at the back, we have an area, like everybody pretty much does, where we have some old lumber and a few odds and sods. And there's an old trailer that used to go on the back of our lawn tractor. And Sierra had gone underneath there, dug herself a nest, and she was all in deep, ready to have the puppies there. So I convinced her quite easily that she'd probably be more comfortable having them in our bedroom, where it was a little bit warmer, a little bit cleaner, would be a little bit easier for me to see the puppies and help her out. So she came up, and for the rest of the morning, she was getting more and more into the process, more panting, more digging. And then when she started to have contractions, which was right around 11-ish, then we came upstairs together. I had everything already ready in the bedroom. We got the heater going, and we settled in to wait for the babies to come. And the first baby was born at 12:13 p.m. So it didn't take too long from when she started having some of her pushing start until the first baby came out. And now you'll see Sierra is panting now, and that's because it's hot in here. It's 23. We have it warm like that so that the babies are warm. It's most important, more than anything, that infants, puppies be kept warm. That is the most critical thing for them. Yes, you agree? And of course, they stay cozy as well by being close to each other and close to Mama Sierra, who is going to think about maybe moving. Am I in the wrong spot? Or she maybe wants to tell us that she needs to go out to go to the bathroom. So we'll just let her walk out for a second. We obviously aren't going to take her to the bathroom when we're doing the video, but now you get a really good shot of the puppies. And you'll see now that she's gone, they're going to be a little bit upset about that. They're going to wander around, and you see that they're all leading with the front of their face. And that's because they use their nose to find everything. Their nose is the only sense they have that's working right now. So they use their nose to find Sierra and find the milk bar. Sierra, you want to come back in and we'll go out in a minute? Come on, Sierra. Come on. That's a girl. There we go. Good girl. And you'll see Sierra still has her tail wrapped up, and you'll see there's still a little bit of a discharge back there. She is still bleeding a little bit off and on. So we have her tail wrapped up, and that is just to keep her tail cleaner and so she doesn't get as many mats. But she'll keep herself tidied up there and look after keeping the box clean so it doesn't get too messy. And of course, if it does and she can't keep up with it, then we just change this rug out. There's a little bit of blood over there, but it's not going to hurt anybody. It's not like there's any risk to the puppy's health. Should we help you get settled again? So Sierra's probably a little bit on edge because we're doing the video and her babies are so brand new. So we're just going to help her back into position here, and we'll just put the babies back over closer to her so that everybody's happy again. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And you'll notice that none of them are really nursing right now, and that's because Sierra has been doing a fabulous job, and the puppies have all been nursing all on their own, and so they don't need to eat constantly. All puppies do at this stage is eat, sleep, repeat. That is it. So the things we're looking for here with Sierra is we want to go and we want to check this milk bar. Make sure things are staying soft and supple. We don't want to have any hard bits or any problems with mastitis. Sometimes the bigger teats at the back here, they are larger, and when they're this little and new, the puppies sometimes find those harder to nurse from. So they'll ignore them. We'll see if we can get a puppy to latch, and I'm going to suggest that probably we won't. So they ignore them and they go for the easier ones. And this is a quality that dogs have for their whole life. They always look for the easiest possible solution. This is something to keep in mind when you're training and working with dogs, is they always look for the easiest way to get what they want. And we can see we just about got Red Collar Girl on here, and I'm just helping her a bit by holding it up so it's easier for her to keep that suction there. And then now you see the puppies are kneading. So what they're doing there is that is an instinctive thing where they knead on the mammary gland, and that gets the flow of the milk to come out a bit better. Now, lots of people have Australian Labradoodles that even once they're grown up, they do the same kneading, and they'll suckle on their blanket, the edge of their bed, something that they find really comforting. So because Sierra was a little unhappy with the fact that we're in here, I'm not going to lift each of the puppies up in today's video. I'm just going to point them out for you and tell you what time they were born. I'm going to tell you what sex they are, what color they are, and then when we do our 1 week update, we'll hold them up close and personal for you. Because no matter what we do on all of these videos, the primary concern is that mom is happy and content, and that the babies are as well. Because whatever mom is feeling is what is going through to each of these babies. It goes right from here in her brain through into the milk, and then that goes into the babies. And what we're doing here is making sure that we have babies who are very calm, happy, content, and they aren't stressed at all. So the first baby who was born is a Red Collar Girl, and that's this one here who I've got on this nice big hind mammary gland. So you can see it's amazing the suction that they get, and you can see that's quite a big nipple that she's got in a tiny brand new mouth. Now you see this little bump here that looks like she's a bull. That's just her ID collar there. It's just the way it's on her neck. It's making her coat come up. I'll see if I can change it without taking her off of the nipple. There we go. Now she doesn't look like she has some big hump in her back. It may be that I have it a little bit too tight, so we'll just adjust it. There we go, that's better. And what these little ID collars are actually the elastics for your ears for face masks. But they're really nice and soft, and they're really easy to adjust. So, and they're very small, so they're great for puppies. And you can see this one's maybe a bit tight too. You have to be careful that you don't have them too loose, because then they can get their foot through them, which is really annoying for them. It doesn't hurt them, but it's a bit annoying for them. So just loosen them all off a bit. Maybe they've already all gained so much weight and grown so much since yesterday that their collars are all too tight. Who knows? So number one here, red collar girl, is a girl. That's why I'm calling her red collar girl, obviously. And she is what I expect will end up being an apricot and white party. Now she could end up being a caramel and white party. The only difference is if her nose is black or her nose is brown. If her nose is brown, or liver color more correctly, then she'll be a caramel. If her nose is black, then she's an apricot. And a party means half white and half a different color. So this is probably going to darken a little bit as time goes on, but it's a beautiful, beautiful color. And when we get to see her face, you'll see that she has a lot of white up in the front there. She has a big white blaze, and then the color on either side. So she was born at 12:13 p.m. and she weighed 289 grams, which is just exactly the type of weight that we would be looking for this size of Labradoodle at maturity. So the next puppy who was born is green collar girl, and she's not nursing. So I'm going to see if maybe we can bring her up without getting Sierra too upset about it all. There we go. Yeah, so this is very similar to what her sister red collar looks like, with that big open white area on the top of the head there. And this little girl has her two little spots here of her red. This girl, I am quite sure, is going to be a red. She could be a red caramel, but either way, she's going to be a red and white party. And you can see if I put her beside red collar girl, that her color is just that much darker. That's why she is going to be a red as opposed to an apricot. So this little munchkin here, my little sweetie princess here, she was born at 12:22 p.m. and she weighed 296 grams. So she was almost the biggest puppy at birth. So she was the second biggest. And then after green collar rather, we had yellow collar, and yellow collar girl's over here, and she is the only one that is the color that I thought we get a whole lot of. I'll just put her here so Sierra doesn't feel so concerned about her. She's chocolate, and she has a tiny little bit of white on her toes, as you can see there, and she has some white on her chest too. And now Sierra feels that she needs to attend to her, give her a good cleanup, so I'll just let Sierra have her. Yellow was born at 12:37 p.m. and she weighed 236 grams. Oh, now I can have her back again. There we go. Thank you. There's the white on her chest. And you can see she has an adorable little white goatee. So she was the smallest puppy in the litter in terms of birth weight. And next we have purple collar, and our first boy in the litter. Now purple collar is either going to be red or a red caramel, and he has some white there on his chin, on his toes that you can see, and on his chest. And this handsome fellow, he was born at 12:49 p.m. and he weighed 284 grams. There, and I'll just let Sierra take him to give him his cleanup. And then last but not least, and I'll just help red collar there find another spot, is our other boy, black collar boy. And he was the biggest puppy in the litter. And he too is, I think, a red caramel. He to me looks like he's more likely to be a caramel as opposed to purple, who I think is going to be a red. You can see that difference in the hue there. That purple is darker than black. Black has a little bit of blonde there on his tummy, which may be white. I can't quite tell yet. No clue yet what color is, if he's going to have a black nose or a liver rose nose like Sierra has. And this is our biggest puppy in the litter. He was 299 grams. So that's quite nice birth weights there. And we'll see if maybe Mr. Horker here, if I can get him there on this back one again. So what we do during the day is we're in here. We make sure that everybody's gaining weight. We weigh them every day. We help them out if anybody's squeaking because they've gotten lost, they're in the wrong spot, if they don't seem to be able to be finding a good place at the milk bar, things like that. Because what happens sometimes is the puppies go here and they're on the wrong side of Sierra and they are not able yet to figure out how to walk all the ways around here. They're not even able to walk yet like that. So that is all the puppies from our half and half litter. Mama Labradoodle Sierra is very relaxed, as you can see. She's very used to this. She enjoys motherhood. She really likes having her puppies. Look at little Purple there with his head rather rested up on her leg. Very sweet. She gives us no trouble at all. She's eating really well. She's just a happy, content mom, and she keeps her babies in great shape. So that's it for this video, and next week we'll be back and we will always do the puppies in birth order as we did today. And when we go back and we do our week 1 video update, we will of course tell you all about the puppies, how they've been doing. We'll give you their updated weights. We'll also be telling you a little bit about how to get your home ready for your new arrival. So we hope you'll join us then. If you enjoyed today's video and have time to give us a thumbs up, that'd be great. We hope, especially if you're one of the lucky families on the list for this litter, that you've subscribed to our channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you are notified whenever our new videos come out, both for this litter and other litters that we have. We always try and tell you something a little bit in each video so that you always have a chance to learn a little bit more about Australian Labradoodles. Thanks so much for watching. Hey, cutie.